Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Tribe Conscious podcast. Today, we are joined by my good friend, Benjamin Atchley, founder and creator of Radiate Video, a video agency helping people solve problems through video and creative marketing. In our conversation, we talked to Ben about the power of video and why it's the future of communication and why community is so important for creatives and how we can shake off the insecurities we face when it comes to putting ourselves and our work out there. This is going to be a great one, so get ready. Welcome, everybody. We are so excited about today's episode numero dos. And it's my honor to have my boy, my brother, my little brother, Ben Atchley, who is the founder, creator of Radiate. He's going to talk a little bit about that, but I just want to say, dude, I'm so proud of you, dude. Like, I think everything that you've been through, where you're at right now, it's incredible. But I'm just like, dude, this guy's going places and you're going to do amazing things. So, yeah, on behalf of the Tribe Conscious Collective community, we want to say welcome.
Thank you so
thanks
much.
for being here today. So yeah, just tell us a little bit about Radiate. What do you do, man?
Well, I just want to say, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate, you creating space for me to, share more about what I do, as well as just about my story and, how I got here. Pretty much, I help businesses, I help, leaders within the community with what they are doing through video. And I believe video to be a huge vessel for change within the world, because I've seen it change me and I've seen it change others. And I want to, take that resource of, being able to take something and make it unbound by time. So it could be anywhere, everywhere, at all times, and produce, for whatever organization or business. And that's really game changing for some people right now.
Yeah, I mean, and we talk about that, how the future is video. I mean, we look at even Instagram and it's like if you're not creating even 15-second reels, like you're missing out. Like video is where it's at. The engagement level on just podcasts here and audio is great. Putting it on video is even better. It's going to increase your reach. I mean, I don't even have the numbers, but I know it's why it's there and why we keep creating spaces for videos to be out there. So
it's really lucrative. But I think for me, over the years, I've been making videos for a very long time. It's been, a handful of years for me, but it took quite a while for me to own it, to really own it. You know what I mean? In the sense that I'm taking it to the world and I'm not letting the world bring it to me. Does that make sense? So instead of waiting for people to call me to work, I want to find people that are doing amazing things for the community. Businesses that are providing and, solving problems for their neighborhoods. The leader within the community who, is helping organizations and is so involved and is needs help doing this or that. The organization downtown that needs funding but has no means of marketing or no resources to get volunteers. Things like that. There's so many different things within the world that need solved, that need communicated. And since video happens to be the number one communication method, for consumers, people want to watch videos. They want to hear from their businesses that they purchase from, the places that they shop, literally everything. They want to hear from people, and they want it to be real, just like this. So that's what I'm here to do. I started Radiate Video this year, and it's been amazing. It's been humbling, and it has been tiring. Seriously.
That's really bad. Dude, I was going to say, I love this idea that it sounds like you were really in a place where you're like, dude, I'm just going to go tackle the world. I love this idea of not waiting around. And for me as a creative, that's something that's super difficult for me.
Oh my God.
I deal with just perfectionism, needing to get everything absolutely right. Dude, how did you get to the point of just saying like, I'm just going to go for it? Was it like, were you able to build up competition through reps and just over time? Or how'd you get to that decision where you're just like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing?
Like professionally or like creatively? Like in what way? Like
I think
I'm gonna like
either
take it
way,
to the world because go ahead.
And I think that's where like your story is so important because you, even though you've creatively, in my opinion, I think creatively, you've been there, and we always wrestle with that. Like, gosh, like there's always room to get better, but
right.
I think it was more here where you were kind of fighting the fact that you're 22.
Yep.
I met you when you were 18 and you were already dropping. Right. I do love to, blow your horn, dude. Like you are an incredible creative since I met you when you were 18. How did you get to that place when you finally said like, dude, I'm going to do this. Like we got one life, one shot. Let's go for it.
You know what? I think for me, it almost like cost me everything because I think growing up, my life, even as an adult, like as I was growing into my adult years, I almost like didn't know how to communicate for myself. Like I didn't have a voice. I didn't know how to speak up or how to fight for myself even. And I think, video discovered me as much as I discovered video.
Wow.
And I was just very lucky enough to have people in my life that loved me enough and introduced me to it. So with that, I just started playing with video. And then over the years, I just kept growing and growing and growing. And I got to a point in my personal life where I pretty much was just like, well, I am like a rock bottom, like a complete rock bottom. And what do you do with that? You don't really have much besides to build. And to tell those stories and to, be a light to people who need one right now. So with that, video essentially became my superpower because not only did it give me the voice of my personal life and my stories, and it gave me that like power back in my life, but now I want to take that and I want to replicate that on a global scale, and I can because that's the power of video and the internet. So all I have to do is lay my life down, serve my community, and make really fun videos. That's my life.
And you're like, and rock bottom for you was this time last year, you were in a crazy experience, dude. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this time last year, or maybe
it was like
even
November,
a couple months before.
Yeah, it was November, October. I got a
September.
call. I was like, yo.
That time was wild. That season was super insane.
I
feel like I physically, everything changed. Like my whole world flipped upside down. I felt like I was losing my mind. I had no idea of who I was, where I was going. I felt numb. I felt confused, so super, super, super lost. And this was a way of not necessarily like fixing it all, but being okay with it all and then moving forward.
And
that's
awesome, dude.
This provides me a way of loving myself and, learning to do that, but also loving others. So, and that's really all I'm here to do is because like, I don't really care about this art or the video stuff. Like nobody cares about videos. What I care about is like helping people, helping myself, and like making this like life experience, like this life that we have on earth, like a better experience for everybody.
I heard someone talk about like creative at its core is really problem solving. So whether it's like processing an emotion or you're trying to help literally solve a problem that is happening right in front of you, being creative in all ways, shapes, or form is art. I think that what you're doing, it's obviously creative, but it is problem solving. But I always think that, you know, you're 22. You know, I know that you've dealt with those insecurities, those doubts. And obviously you haven't become self-realized where you're a guru and you're over here, you've conquered the world. But what would you tell someone that's kind of going through the same thing you are, or that is trying to get to where you are at? I mean, Zach, you were talking before we started the show that you love something that he posted like 2 days ago. What was that you were?
Yeah. So basically, if I recall correctly, someone had reached out to you and they were asking you a question just about video business and different things, wanting to pick your brain. Which, first, shout out, because I respect people that do that so much, because I know for me personally, like I've had my times where I've reached out to plenty of people and they're just like, nah. But you, even though you are so young, you do have so much to give.
Yeah.
So love that you're having those conversations and encourage everyone else that's listening.
That, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And for everyone that's listening, like reach out. There's so many incredible resources and people that can help you push that craft. But one of the things that you said at the end that just grabbed my attention was that you said community over competition. And I was just like, yes, because that's something that's so counterintuitive, so backwards in our world today. Like we want to be the best. We need to be the best. But you're saying, no, we're actually better when we're together. Yeah. Share more just about that and your thoughts on that, because I thought that was so awesome.
I think a lot of us, you know, creatives have it wrong. And I think, I'm just going to use video people as an example because that's the industry that I'm in. I feel like so many video people get caught up in a lot of the kind of just like the fluff, like the filler of the industry, the hype, the cameras, the technology, the clout, all of those things, money, etc., whatever that thing is for you. But like video itself, when we can take video, communicate, add value, teach, and then if we're able to do that for another person, so that, you know, that video person has the same training I do, they think the same way I do, we're solving problems at an exponentially greater rate. So instead of me having to fight for, you know, hey, you know, if that person's winning, if that filmmaker is getting jobs, that means I can't. It's actually not that way, because if you look around the world, there are that many problems to solve, and there's just enough for everybody. Like there's really no reason for anybody to hoard information, to do any of that. And actually one thing that I'm legitimately going through in my personal life and my professional life is, if you look at most of my channels, I've never made any content. Like I've never actually produced my own educational content. I've never like really produced my own, like just content for fun. Like it's just something that I've never really done. And there's lots of different reasons for that. I think now I'm at a point where I think it's wrong for me to do that. I really do. I think it's selfish, and then I think it's gluttonous. I think it's gluttonous for me to inhabit this much information without like blessing my community of business owners, of leaders, of pastors, of whoever has a thing going on right now that they are trying to grow, that they are passionate about. It's so selfish for me to like know all of this and not give it away.
Dude, it's like,
and I really feel that.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, especially during this season, like during COVID season, during you know, we're living in a season where we're dealing with a global pandemic. People's lives are ending, like people are dying. But on the other spectrum, like people are losing their jobs because they've never caught up with the times. And here we are, like being able to help people, and we're over here afraid or insecure or like, well, somebody else is better at doing it. And one thought that I've been having a lot is, just because you're not 100% ready or 100% healed, that doesn't mean you can't make 100% of a difference. Like, just get out there. Like John Maxwell said this, like somebody asked him, tell us what we need to do to write a book. Like, give us the keys to write a book. He was like, write a book. And he was like, your first book, it's gonna suck. And like for perfectionists, I mean, all creatives, if we're not creating our best, then what is it, right? So like we're all in the same boat. Like every creative that's hearing me right now, we all struggle with perfectionism. But this illusion of we've got to have it right 100%, like, dude, our content is only going to get better. And even like for us, as we're creating this platform, it's not going to look the same a year from now. So we need to make sure that we're doing it for the sake of helping people and making a difference. Because if the reason is that of why we're doing what we're doing is so that we can find ourselves or we can validate ourselves, man, it's so depleting. Ben, you and I were talking about this. For those that are, hearing or watching, I was just in California last week. Long story, but Ben has been just clutch helping us out every time we get to California during this season. And he picked me up, and one of our conversations was the fact about we are not what we create, but what we create is an expression of who we are. So I think it's just like, it is, but it isn't. So like, we're not what we create. So sometimes we attach who we are to what we do and what we create. That's not true. But what we do is an expression of who we are. Like our art, like it does reflect our identity, and it does reflect our personalities, and it even reflects like our moods. Like, some of the greatest songs ever written were written in pain or written in happiness. So, but it's not completely who we are. We can't attach our identity in that. And I think you're right, dude. We miss out on the true of what we are called to do in our giftings and talents, and like just these resources that we have. And it's to make a difference, help people. Because I know, like, even you and I were talking about that, Ben, on my trip, about, just like helping business owners get through this time, because it's tough. And we've got a resource that could help people not just move forward emotionally, but just move their businesses forward. So to those hearing,
move their families forward, man. Right now, so like, it's not just like move it forward, but like stay open, like keep the lights on, food on the table,
exactly.
Like, their employees happy, fed, alive. You know what I mean? Like there's so much to be done right now. It's crazy. So it's crazy.
And for us to sit here and wait for all the stars to align, for me, it's ludicrous. We're missing out on the opportunity to make a difference. And I mean, at the end of the day, the fastest way to kill something good is comparing it to something else. So if what we're doing, like sometimes we have this traction and we're about to make, some moves as creatives, or we want to release content or do that. And then we're like, oh no, because we get on Instagram and we see, our competition.
Little death scroll.
Oh my goodness.
Death scroll goes right to your heart, right to the ego. And then you're just done for the day.
Yeah. It's horrible, dude.
Yeah. I was going to say, all of this is hitting me in the chest because I find myself in that situation so often. And it's at a point where we have to get to a point where when we're in that death scroll, like you have to be able to recognize the lie. You have to be able to push yourself to launch and start, because one, for everyone that's listening, what you're doing now is so vital and
It
so
is.
important. But also, you don't even know what impact that will have 5-10 years down the road.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not starting today, you will never get there, and you will never know, and you'll never be able to see that impact. And that's just something, even just for me personally, that's been so difficult, because for me, creating and releasing things is so vulnerable. And it goes back to what we mentioned earlier. It's what we release isn't who we are. It's just an expression. And that's okay to be where you are. But man, I was just sitting here.
Bro, you just hit
like,
something, Zach, about vulnerability.
Yeah.
Because doing something like film, this podcast, like you're exposing yourself. And when we expose exposure exposes us to critics. Golly, like how true is that?
Exposure
exposes us to critics. And we have to understand, like, not everybody's gonna get you. Not everybody's gonna, like, they're gonna look at your work and be like, that's not really my vibe. Like, dude, we've had, my wife and I, for the last 8 years have done photography. And I mean, I feel like our work has gone exponentially better. And dude, we still get people that don't like our work. And it feels like a stab in the heart, like, golly, you're killing me.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, not everybody's gonna get it, dude. And it's okay. Like we just have to, we got to keep creating. We got to keep doing what we're called to do, because then we're missing out on making a difference.
Yeah. And the people that actually need you.
When we delay a thing because it isn't perfect, we delay the world from, seeing the progression that it needs to do, that needs to have.
Yeah.
So like, don't delay, don't wait. Like, why wait?
And
like,
and that's why it's
one thing that
also, go ahead.
No, you go, bro.
I was going to say I think that's also the reason, like the whole reason why we're doing this right now is because you do need community. You do need people that are going to be in your corner and cheer you on when times get hard, because you are going to get that negative feedback. And it's like, a lot of times you can just brush that stuff off, but we're human. Like, you are going to feel some of those things. Having those people that can continue to reassure you and push you is so vital. We cannot do it alone.
I think one of the cool things about this like situation right now is, Apoc has actually been one of those people for me in my life. So like, now that I'm on and as a guest, it's a fun circle to be a part of. Because earlier when you were saying like, don't delay, don't wait, like part of my story is like, I almost got like a second chance. Like, I waited and I almost didn't get a second chance because of a car crash. You know what I mean? Like, I almost didn't get my second chance to do what I wanted to do with my life, to see who I wanted to see, to be where I wanted to be, to make what I wanted to make, and to help who I wanted to help, because I waited. I got in a car crash, I fell asleep, and I almost died. I literally could have died. I should have died.
That car was completely total. And the hit that you took was like on your side. You hit a light post, right? And I'm like, how did you just like
drive in, fall asleep, turn right? I hit about 30 feet of brick wall, like really thick brick wall on the side of the road. And right up against that is a palm tree that hits me on my driver's side door.
Oh, wow.
And I wasn't like driving a super big car. I was driving like a Toyota Camry. And my car just about obliterated that wall, and it bent around that tree. And I have no recollection of leaving that car. I have no recollection of almost any of it. And it's
you're bizarre. Here.
I'm here, and I'm making moves because of it. And I couldn't be happier. It completely changed my life.
One thing that I was going to bring up about just second chances, and like we have to wait for these moments to happen because we're constantly, fighting these self-doubts and insecurities. And one thing that I've been kind of having on my mind a lot is a lot of these things that we're telling ourselves, like we would never tell like a fellow creative that's wanting to do things like if we would hear them say like, oh my God, like my work sucks. Like we would be like, no, like, what do you mean? Like you're making an impact. We would take the time to encourage. And I want to tell the people just listening, like you have to learn to be your greatest cheerleader and encourager. Like nobody else can beat you at that. And as a 33-year-old young man, I've had to learn that over the years, that I have to be my greatest advisor, my greatest encourager, because sometimes life is life. Like not everybody's going to be answering the phone when you most need them, but you have to be able to say, you know what, that's not, I'm not what I create, but what I create is an expression of who I am. So I can't beat myself around. I can't wait till I have it 100% right. If I wait till I have it 100% right, then I'm probably 100% late. So might as well just get in there and do it. So, yeah.
Yep.
Any, I know that Zach, you were talking about one last question, and I don't even know if we got into that last question, but what would you tell someone that is aspiring to maybe open up a video, even photography? I mean, I'm just saying like somebody that wants to launch and
wants to pursue creative in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were someone who wants to become a photographer or a videographer, my greatest advice to you would be do it already. Like, what are you waiting for? That's what you want to do. What's stopping you from actually doing that? Besides your own insecurities, besides maybe a few things that you need to work out in your life or do. I have a 4K camera right here on my phone. It shoots 4K video. Like businesses don't need fancy cameras. This isn't Hollywood, guys. Use your phone.
Dude, I love this. It's funny, but it's so simple, right?
It's so
I was
simple.
laughing I was laughing. Yeah, we do. I was laughing because, we can be so messed up, and we need to normalize the fact of how jacked up we are. What is normal, right? Like what is normal? Last week I was going through Instagram, and I got like a sponsored post for like a photographer, and I click it, and it, art is subjective. Like it really is. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, this is trash. And I get all critical. But the reason I'm being so critical is because this person, guess what, has 10 times more followers than we do. And it's easy for me to be like, oh, I just start like attacking to like make myself feel better or whatever that is. But they're doing exactly what I should be doing, like what you should be doing, whoever's listening. Like a lot of the times we can get in there and start being critical about other artists and, oh, like, I can't believe they put that content out. And I get it. I mean, there's some standards we got to have. We don't need to be talking about the exceptions. I'm talking about probably 90% of our self-doubt and insecurities is the fact that we're insecure. And the reason we're holding ourselves back is because we're, doubting ourselves. And we're over here like, we love to just like, oh, like they're doing it wrong and I would have done this, but they're doing it. They're literally doing it and they're winning.
Can I share something on the insecurities part? Because I think this is super, super like in tune with the conversation of like identity, creatives, insecurities. I think it's funny that creatives have so much insecurities involving our work, because the truth is nobody cares about your insecurities except for you.
Yeah. Oh.
Literally no one. No one cares about your
Wow.
insecurities except for
I was
you.
not ready for that one, dude. You you literally just dropped like a atomic bomb and just ran off.
I'm like
That was-
picturing
I
this.
mean,
I'm just like
This is-
picturing.
I'm gone.
This is literally the episode, guys. Get to minute whatever. What I don't know what minute this
Yo.
is going to be, but get to this
Oh
minute.
man,
That's was,
we're gonna need a
that
clap
was money.
for Slate.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing it. It sounds so silly. Like going back to infinite scroll, going through Instagram and seeing something. No one is ever just like, oh, he probably hates that. Like,
Right.
whoever put it
Yeah.
out. What the heck? That
And you
was
know
so
what?
good.
I think if we all actually like put out as much content as we think we will or we want to, I think people would actually understand us more.
Yeah.
I think they would understand what we do more, our heart more, where we're going, all sorts of stuff. And you know what? Who doesn't want to feel known? You know what I mean? It's not necessarily all of those things like, oh, I want to share this, blah, blah, blah. No one cares about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to connect with my friends.
I was I was at a church leading worship this weekend, and someone literally asked me, like, what can I do to become a better worship leader? You know, that's my context. I lead worship too. That's something that I've done for almost 2 decades. And I told this person, I was like, yo, like, the quicker that you can get comfortable in your own skin, the better you're going to lead. Because I know without a shadow of a doubt that there are millions of people that can sing better than I can. Like, it's not a if, like, I'm not, like, it's a fact. But no one is me. Like, if I just stay true to myself, I'm comfortable up on stage and I do what only I can do, and I am authentic to myself, people receive that. Like, people embrace that. People love that. People connect to that. And you're totally right, dude. Like, whenever we are true to ourselves and the most authentic selves, and we create content that reflects that we're not creating content to see what other people think about us, or, oh, maybe they'll like, if I can release this, then this group of people are going to accept me. No, we do it because it's who we are. Like, it's an expression of who we are. When we do that, like, people receive it. Like, you will find your tribe. And that's our hope with the tribe, that we're able to find people and say, like, yo, that's my people. Like, yo, like, I'm able to be myself, and I'm not over here like trying to present to you what I think will impress you. Yeah.
Man, while we're at it, I just want to put out a challenge right now. I want to put out a challenge for the people that are listening. Tag us in your stuff. Let's get it out there. Like, what is the thing that you've been working on? Put it out. Tag Tribe Conscious Collective. Let's go around and show that stuff some love and get connected, because I mean, it's ironic that we're talking about this today, because this is something that everyone, creatives, experience regularly. I had this exact conversation with a friend today, talking about what do I need to do in order to build my audience. It's like, and I replied, I was like, you know exactly what you need to do. I'm like, I'll give you some thoughts, but I was like, what do you think it is? And the person knows. Like, we got to get started, get rolling. So I want to throw out that challenge. Tribe Conscious Collective, just use that hashtag, tag us, and put it out there, man. Let's get the ball rolling and start that journey. Ben, I think you were going to throw in something.
I did, but I lost it. That was really good.
I'm so sorry. That's me.
I'm trying to remember. You're totally okay. You're totally okay. It probably wasn't super important.
Ben, man, it was a treat having you today. For those that are watching us, listening, and you know, they want to keep up with you, see what you're up to, throw out your Instagram handles for your business personally, and let them know how they can connect with you.
Awesome. Well, if you want to find me on social, all of my @names are @Benjamin Atchley. And then my agency account is Radiate Video. And you can follow me there. Come hang out.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to episode 2 of the Tribe Conscious podcast. Remember, be sure to tag your work with the hashtag tribeconsciouscollective. We want to see your stuff. We want to show you guys some love and be able to share it with our community. Also, don't forget to share, comment, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff wherever you listen to your podcast. It helps us out a ton, and we're so thankful for that. Also, what'd you think? Be sure to send us a message and follow us at Tribe Conscious Collective. Guys, happy holidays, and we'll catch you next time.